I keep hammering and hammering about this, and I'm going to keep hammering about it. We already have a democracy under siege. Yes, we need a special prosecutor to look at Russia's involvement in the election, but I want a special prosecutor to look at the corrupting process of big money in our elections, a process that is legal, but nonetheless corrupt and deeply corrupt. We have a corrupt and broken system. There is a new report that documents just how corrupt our system is, as if we didn't know and as if we didn't have reports already. But it's a very good report. It's a report from the Roosevelt Institute entitled 50 Shades of Green. The lead author is Thomas Ferguson, who's written on this subject before. And as the report itself says, the theory behind it, or the principle that it established, is simple. Money influences key congressional votes on both finance and telecommunication issues, which means that you and I, the American people, get screwed on both banking and internet and telephone issues. You ever wonder why your banking services are so terrible, why we bailed out the big banks, why banks can rip people off and commit massive fraud and get away with it? You ever wonder why you pay so much for phone service that's lousy, why you get spam calls with spoof phone numbers and the phone company doesn't do anything about it, why you get overcharged, why your complaints don't get heard, why cable TV rips you off, why you don't have good broadband? It all goes back to money in politics. Now, the data from this report, its findings are compelling. With enough money, you can buy the votes of legislators, including plenty in both parties. We know that the Republican Party is a cynical hack operation for corporate America, but a lot of Democrats can be swayed too. Now, you take net neutrality. The report shows that by and large, Democrats supported net neutrality. That's a good thing. Net neutrality being the ability of anyone who communicates over the internet to have equal access so that people aren't paying to get to your laptop or your cell phone or your tablet, so that only the wealthy really are easily accessed online. That's what net neutrality is all about. Now, by and large, Democrats are good on this issue. Republicans are bad. That's still true today. But here's what the Roosevelt Institute found. For every $1,000 that was given by a company like Netflix or Google, which is, in this case, they are pro-net neutrality, the likelihood that a member of Congress would vote the right way increased by 24%. For every $1,000 given by companies that are on the wrong side of this issue, the chances that a legislator would vote on the wrong side of the issue went up, although much more slightly. Now, it's hard to track influence. It's gotten especially hard since 2010 with the Supreme Court and dark money, the Citizens United Commission, and so on. But it's still a big deal. We still have a political system where if banks give to someone, including a Democrat, the more money they give, the more likely that Democrat was to vote, for example, to weaken Dodd-Frank. So here we have a system where money in politics over and over again has been shown to directly affect the outcome of votes. That should tell you something. That should tell you that we have a pay-to-play political system. So while everyone wants answers about Russia, we already know that big telecom and big banking is doing the job some people suspect Russia of doing. They have hacked the American democracy. They have hacked American elections with money. So why doesn't everybody who's so concerned about Russia's role in the election also have at least that level of concern for big corporations and big banks' role in our election? I don't want to live in an oligarchy run by Russians. I don't want to live in an oligarchy run by Comcast. I don't want to live in an oligarchy run by J.P. Morgan Chase, or as is the case under the current administration, by Goldman Sachs, or as was the case under the Bill Clinton and Barack Obama administrations, Citigroup. I don't want to live in an oligarchy, period. That is my position on democracy, and I hope it is yours. So let's talk about that now a little bit more. We're talking about a system of legalized political corruption, of money in politics, and so far, all I've been talking about to you has been the role of money, but there is also the role of the kinds of cushy jobs you can get once you leave office. And we should be talking about that too. Too many elected officials go on to make millions in the private sector in the very industries they've helped. That's corruption too, even if it's legal, and we need to stop it.